Sit quietly for a moment and observe your life as if you were watching a flowing river. Wealth, like water, does not disappear suddenly. It leaks silently, slowly, invisibly, until one day you find your hands empty and wonder where it all went. The first leak is your attention. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. When your mind is scattered across endless distractions, gossip, comparison, and noise, you are giving away the very force that could have built something meaningful. A focused mind creates value. A distracted mind consumes it. The second leak is your time. Time is the only currency that cannot be earned back once spent. Yet many offer it freely to things that do not nourish growth, endless scrolling, unproductive habits, and people who drain rather than uplift. When time is not respected, wealth cannot take root. Guard your time like a wise gardener protects water in a drought. The third leak is your peace of mind. Anger, jealousy, and constant worry act like holes in a vessel. Even if abundance pours into your life, it cannot stay. A restless mind makes poor decisions, chases illusions, and fears opportunity. True wealth begins where the mind becomes calm and clear. The fourth leak is your self-worth. When you undervalue yourself, you accept less than you deserve, less pay, fewer opportunities, weaker boundaries. You begin to trade your effort cheaply and your dreams even cheaper. But when you recognize your worth, you naturally attract better outcomes. Wealth flows toward those who respect their own value. The fifth and deepest leak is unconscious spending, not only of money, but of habits. Every small choice is a seed. When you repeatedly choose comfort over discipline, impulse over intention, you are silently building a future of lack. But when your actions are mindful, even small efforts grow into abundance. Understand this. Wealth is not only about what you earn, but what you keep, and more importantly, what you unknowingly give away. Close your eyes and reflect. Where are your leaks? Is it your time, your focus, your peace, your worth, or your habits? Seal these leaks with awareness. Protect your attention. Honor your time. Calm your mind. Value yourself. Choose wisely again and again. And slowly, like a still lake filling after rain, your wealth will begin to rise not by force but by wisdom. Attention is your hidden currency. Distractions drain your energy and reduce your ability to create wealth. Focus builds value. Attention is one of the most powerful yet unnoticed forms of wealth a person possesses. It does not appear in your bank account, yet it controls everything that eventually does. Wherever your attention flows, your energy follows, and wherever your energy goes, results are created. If your attention is constantly pulled in different directions towards social media, endless notifications, comparison with others, or meaningless conversations, you slowly lose the ability to concentrate on what truly matters. This loss is not loud or sudden. It happens quietly, like water slipping through tiny cracks, until one day you realize you have spent years busy but not productive. A scattered mind cannot build anything of lasting value. It jumps from one idea to another, chasing temporary pleasure instead of long-term reward. In this state, even the best opportunities pass by unnoticed because the mind is too distracted to recognize them. On the other hand, when attention is focused, it becomes a force of creation. A single hour of deep, undivided focus can produce more meaningful results than an entire day filled with interruptions. This is how true progress is made, not through constant activity, but through intentional, concentrated effort. Many people unknowingly give away their attention for free. They allow others to decide what deserves their focus, algorithms, trends, or opinions. In doing so, they lose control over their own direction in life. But attention is meant to be guided, not scattered. It should be placed carefully on actions that build skills, strengthen discipline, and move you closer to your goals. When you begin to protect your attention, everything changes. You become more aware of how you spend your time, more selective about what you engage with, and more intentional in your actions. Slowly, your mind becomes clearer, your decisions become stronger, and your efforts begin to compound into real value. Wealth does not start with money, it starts with where you place your focus each day. Guard it wisely, because once your attention is lost, the path to growth becomes harder to see. Time is your most valuable asset. Wasting time on unproductive activities silently destroys your potential for financial growth. Time moves quietly, yet it shapes every outcome in life. It is given equally to all, but used very differently. Some invest it with care and intention, while others spend it without awareness, only to later wonder why progress feels distant. Unlike money, time cannot be saved for later use, borrowed from tomorrow, or recovered once lost. Every moment that passes becomes a permanent part of the past, and this is what makes it the most valuable asset you possess. Many people treat time casually, offering it to activities that bring little return. Hours slip away in endless scrolling, idle conversations, or habits that do not contribute to growth. At first it feels harmless, even relaxing. But over weeks and months, these small losses accumulate into something much larger. Opportunities are missed, skills remain undeveloped, and goals stay out of reach, not because of lack of ability, but because of where time was placed. Those who understand the value of time begin to see it differently. They realize that every hour holds the potential to build something meaningful. Even small, consistent efforts when repeated daily create powerful results over time. A single focused hour spent learning, creating, or improving may not seem significant in the moment, but its impact multiplies quietly in the background. This is how growth truly happens, not through sudden bursts of effort, but through steady, mindful use of time. Respecting time also means being selective about where it goes. Not every opportunity deserves your hours, and not every demand on your schedule needs to be accepted. When you say yes to everything, you unknowingly say no to what truly matters. Learning to set boundaries is not selfish, it is necessary for growth. It allows you to protect your energy and invest your time where it brings the greatest return. When time is honored, life begins to feel more purposeful. There is less regret, fewer distractions, and a stronger sense of direction. Progress becomes visible not because more time is available, but because it is used wisely. In the end, wealth is not only measured by what you earn, but by how well you use the moments given to you each day. Peace of mind protects wealth. Negative emotions like anger and worry lead to poor decisions and block abundance. Peace of mind is a quiet protector of everything you build, yet it is often the first thing people sacrifice in the pursuit of more. A restless mind may appear active and driven, but beneath that activity lies instability. When thoughts are filled with worry, anger, jealousy, or constant comparison, they begin to influence every decision you make. In such a state, even good opportunities can be misunderstood, and small challenges can feel overwhelming. Wealth, no matter how much of it you gather, cannot stay long in a mind that is constantly disturbed. Emotions, when left unchecked, act like invisible holes in a container. You may continue to pour effort, time, and resources into your life, but they slowly drain away through impulsive choices and unclear thinking. Anger can push you toward decisions you later regret. Fear can stop you from taking necessary risks. Jealousy can distract you from your own path, making you chase what does not truly belong to you. In this way, a lack of inner calm becomes a silent force that erodes both clarity and progress. A peaceful mind, however, changes the way you experience and respond to the world. It allows you to pause before reacting, to think before deciding, and to see situations as they are rather than as your emotions paint them. With clarity comes better judgment, and with better judgment comes better outcomes. This is not about avoiding challenges or suppressing emotions, but about understanding them and not letting them take control. When your mind is calm, you become more aware of your actions and their consequences. You begin to notice patterns in your behavior and make adjustments that support growth. Decisions are no longer rushed or driven by temporary feelings, but guided by purpose and awareness. Over time, this creates stability, and stability allows wealth to grow and remain. True abundance is not only built through external effort, but also through internal balance. Without peace of mind, success feels heavy and uncertain. With it, even small progress feels meaningful and sustainable. Protecting your inner calm is not a luxury, it is a foundation upon which lasting wealth is quietly built. Self-worth determines your income level. Undervaluing yourself leads to accepting less in life, while confidence attracts better opportunities. Self-worth is one of the most silent yet powerful forces shaping your financial reality. It does not announce itself loudly, yet it influences every choice you make, every opportunity you accept, and every boundary you set. When a person does not truly recognize their own value, they begin to settle for less without even realizing it. They accept lower rewards for their efforts, tolerate situations that drain their energy, and hesitate to ask for what they deserve. This quiet acceptance becomes a pattern, and over time it limits both personal and financial growth. Many people look outward when they try to improve their income or status, focusing only on skills, strategies, or external conditions. While these things matter, they are deeply influenced by how you see yourself. If you believe your work is not valuable, you will unconsciously communicate that belief to others. It may appear in the way you speak, the way you negotiate, or even the opportunities you choose to pursue. In this way, a low sense of self-worth becomes a hidden barrier that keeps you from reaching higher levels of success. On the other hand, when you begin to recognize your own value, your behavior naturally shifts. You become more confident in your abilities and more willing to step into spaces that once felt intimidating. You start to set clearer boundaries, refusing to give your time and effort to situations that do not respect you. This does not come from arrogance, but from a quiet understanding that your energy, skills, and time have real worth. Valuing yourself also changes how you invest in your own growth. Instead of hesitating, you begin to see learning, improvement, and discipline as worthy investments rather than burdens. You are more likely to take opportunities that challenge you because you trust in your ability to grow through them. This mindset opens doors that were previously invisible, not because they suddenly appeared, but because you are now ready to walk through them. Over time, this inner shift creates external results. Better opportunities, stronger relationships, and greater rewards begin to align with the value you hold within yourself. Wealth, in many ways, reflects how you perceive and treat your own worth. When you raise that inner standard, the outer world begins to respond in kind. allowing abundance to flow more naturally into your life. Habits shape your financial future. Small daily choices, especially unconscious spending and lack of discipline, gradually create either wealth or scarcity. Habits are the quiet architects of your financial life. They do not demand attention, yet they shape your future in powerful ways. Every small action you repeat daily becomes a pattern, and every pattern slowly builds the direction of your life. When these habits are unconscious, they often lead you away from growth without you even noticing. A small unnecessary expense, a moment of laziness, or a repeated decision to delay important work may seem insignificant at first, but over time, these choices gather weight and begin to define your reality. Unconscious spending is one of the most common leaks. It is not always about large purchases. Often it is the small, frequent expenses that quietly drain your resources. Because they feel minor, they are rarely questioned. Yet when added together over weeks and months, they create a significant loss. This is not just about money, but about awareness. When spending becomes automatic, you lose control over where your resources are going, and without control there can be no real growth. But habits go beyond financial behavior. They include how you approach your work, how you respond to challenges, and how disciplined you remain when faced with comfort or distraction. Choosing comfort repeatedly may feel good in the moment, but it slowly weakens your ability to act with intention. On the other hand, choosing discipline even in small ways builds strength and consistency. It trains your mind to act based on purpose rather than impulse. The power of habits lies in their ability to compound. Just as negative habits quietly lead to scarcity, positive habits steadily build abundance. Saving a small amount regularly, learning something new each day, or dedicating focused time to your goals may not show immediate results, but they create momentum. Over time, this momentum becomes difficult to stop and it begins to work in your favor. Awareness is the key that transforms habits. When you start paying attention to your daily actions, you begin to see where your energy and resources are being lost. This awareness gives you the ability to make small corrections, and those small corrections can lead to significant change. Wealth is not built through occasional effort, but through consistent, mindful behavior. When your habits align with your goals, your path becomes clearer, and your progress becomes steady and lasting.